Hello, this is Chloe Bruce, the guest journalist again. I've been uploading lots of videos to YouTube that discuss my diagnosis of schizophrenia in the United Kingdom and some of the attitudes towards mental health in all institutes that I've encountered, or public institutes at least. And today I want to talk about something that's extremely difficult and frightening. Once you have a mental health diagnosis, not only are your notes largely falsified, in the way I've discussed in previous videos, they don't give you any credence for anything. And I had a terrifying experience of several years ago. I received some calls to my mobile, which could only have been a cloned deepfake voice. And it was a terrifying experience. And I told the police, and they were originally sympathetic, but not much happened, and they just got sick of it. I had to report it again. They're so menacing and frightening that it was literally one of the most terrifying experiences I've ever endured. And the reason I knew it was a cloned voice was because it was a voice of an acquaintance of mine. And I'll read a short statement now, because this is actually about security in the context of telephone appointments, especially when they're unscheduled and as such unwanted and unpredicted. And these telephone appointments, I mean, are from the medical profession. And in my case, it was nurses ringing me without an appointment, and after I'd asked them not to even, which I've discussed in other videos. So in this particular case, I asked one GP surgery about a website that looked fake. In other words, there was a fake website of the GP surgery that was booking the actual address, the actual website address. And this issue, even though I'd complained, was ignored for some while, months in fact. The new website, after they finally changed it, seemed insecure for many reasons. There's a duplication of a tab, which looks dodgy, but also the new website seemed insecure because it did not ask any security info when it came to booking appointments or making admin queries. I'd had so many multifarious text messages and calls from this surgery that I had not asked for, that I asked eventually how it would be if they were to call me, how they know it was actually me on the telephone. I was thinking actually less about voice recognition, but more about camera, video recognition, facial recognition, because I know I'm pretty sure I've been asked to upload my face if I wanted to as a security measure on certain softwares. Anyway, so I asked, how would you know it was me when you're making the call? And they said, very satisfiedly in my view, very sure of themselves, almost too sure of themselves, that it'd be because it was my phone. And so that was their answer. Well, it's your phone. And they said, just keep it on you at all times, and don't let it get stolen. And this is absurd. I can't keep my telephone on me literally at all times. They seem to be suggesting that this is plausible. Anything can happen to a telephone. It could get lost. It could get pickpocketed from I don't wear it in my pocket. I don't even have pockets. But they could take it, when I'm at the gym or something, if I was still going to the gym, all those kinds of things, or just for some reason someone answers it on my behalf. And but the problem is, you see all this in the context of this deepfake cloned voice, which came to light. It wasn't originally anything that was known when I had these calls, but I saw some years later on the news that lots of people, I think in the US, were having calls of a similar nature, pretending in particular to be their children. And they were actual people trying to hijack them. And one of my concerns about this acquaintance, I thought he was in a plane hijacking. It was just horrific. I was so terrified that I called the police. But as I say, they lost interest in the subject and just seemed to join in the whole discussion that I'm mad. So so they said I was concerned about these phone appointments by medical practitioners and nurses, and how it was it's one thing them thinking they know me, but how do I know them if it's an unscheduled appointment? Because it was my acquaintance's number that they called from. They can hijack a phone and make it look convincing for that reason. So I was so terrified. I had these calls when I was in the B&B for the homeless that I hurried into the former Foreign and Commonwealth Office to try and say it to them, because it could have been an international incident given this acquaintance. I didn't know what was going on, and they didn't give me any help at all. They were very dismissive and spiteful, actually, and well, anyway, so what I did finally, so as I said, it was the most terrifying situation you could imagine, hearing this acquaintance, and what he was talking about was the murder of a child. And then it repeated. I knew it was a recording because it repeated the exact same information twice. It was basically two men talking about a child being shot. It was terrifying. Anyway, for want of better situation, I felt that some people from overseas might have been affected, and so for lack of support here in Britain and an incredibly complacent attitude towards the security of patients, in the end I informed the CIA of America, since the phone in question was in the US at the time the call was made, and I'm hoping that now. I explained the lack of support having Britain over the problem. I'm hoping now that someone credible will look into the issue. Thank you.